Red Hat Pirates here with a one-piece card game OP09 tier list for the best decks in format and or meta. Really looking forward to the '09 meta. Our tiers are as follows. We have Tier 1, aka Safe. We have Tier 1.5, which would be A1. Tier 2 is Beast. Tier 3 would be Cope, all the Cope heads. And then we have Dog, blank, 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 blank. You can call it Dog Water, Dog Shh, or, whatever you want to call it. Alright, so we're not going to go in any particular order. We're just going to grab these one at a time. So we can start with a Zoro here. And, I mean, to be fair, Zoro's either here or he's here. At the beginning, he can be between these two, but that's going to quickly fade. So we're going to throw him in Cope. He'll be pretty good early on, and then once everybody kind of figures out their decks and how they're running it, they're just going to run this into the ground. Law, I mean, let's be real here. This is dog water. Dog water. There's not much to say about this. Everybody knows what this deck does, who this deck is. It's not great. We have Dofi. This is easily going to be our first safe S tier pick. He's just super consistent, safe, super consistent. Like, your consistency that you see with Dofi is, there's only one other deck that has this consistency level. Smoker. I don't think Smoker's like dog water, but at the same time, he's not. I don't know that he hits Beast. I think he's probably Cope, and he's at the top of the Cope heads, right there. I think that's where he is. Nami. Yeah, we won't put her here, obviously. She's always going to be somewhere in this. It's just a different game. It's boring. It's a snooze fest, obviously. Everybody knows. We're just going to throw her here. I mean, she could technically be here, I guess. There's always going to be Nami players that just do boring things. We'll put her here for now. Maybe we change it. Katakuri. See, this is another deck that's going to be really strong early, but then just not as good. I do think this one's better than Zoro, even early, and I do think it's better than Smoker. It's between, it's on the verge of this, but I don't know that it quite gets there. I think I'm putting it between these two. We'll give it Beast for now. Maybe we swap, but I do think it's still solid. It's a good option. It's a good early option. Bello Betty. This deck, surprisingly, is not surprisingly, is extremely fast, and it's pretty good. So this is a really good off meta pick. I think it's better than. I think it's right here. I think it deserves a spot right here. Ploofy. Ploofy is. Some argue he is here, and there's a big 3. I think he's probably at the top of the next, just because I don't think not that he can't beat Dofi or the other one I'm going to put up here. It's just that I don't think he's as consistent, so I'm going to put him here for now. Anel, I hate Anel, but Anel definitely deserves a spot, either somewhere in between these. I think we're going to put him here for now. I think he's here. Perona, this is not good. It's not good. I've tried it several times. It's not good. I would love to make this card work. It just doesn't. Yamato, she's between these as well. I do think Yamato can be pretty good. But 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 she's pretty easy to play against for the most part if you know what you're doing. I'm gonna put her here. She's gonna go to Cope. She's Cope heads. Reiju's still pretty solid option. She's going here. Geckos, Dog Water, Dragon, Dog Water, Bonnie. Now Bonnie was once a top 5 deck. I don't think she's quite top 5 right now. We're going to put her right here for now. She may move up to A1. She is on the top side of this. Her and Anel. I may move them up here. It just depends on what the ranking looks like for how I want to round it out. Because like obviously these two decks are, I mean, they're better than these, to be fair. But we will put them in the top side and we'll go through an order. Boa. I don't think that this deck is not terrible by any means. It does not belong down here, I don't think, with these guys, but it is Cope still. It's just at the end of the day, a worse Dofi. It's just not as good as the Dofi deck. It is solid though. It does its things that it wants to do, but Foxy's low key a beast. Like this is exactly where he belongs on this right here. I don't know that he's behind this. I think he's probably in front of quite a few. But him and Bello Betty are like very low key. I don't even think she's low key. But these decks are beasts. I've played a lot of Foxy and I've beat a lot of people with Foxy. Lucci we will throw in A1 still. He's just a very strong deck. He's still strong. Still sees what he wants to see. He has some worse matchups now in 09, but he's still a very strong leader. Vegapunk, I think he'd be between these two. I think he's still a solid option. You're still going to see like a very, very fringe portion playing this leader. But there's a lot of people that just don't know how to play against it, and when they don't, that it can jump up some, like in those specific matchups with players. But I think I'm going to put him at the top of Cope for right now. He may be beast. He has his moments. Don't get me wrong. OP09, like I don't know that he's down here, but he's not great. He's Cope. He's easily Cope. We're going to put that in front of the Zoro, too. The Zoro's not it. Yeah, he's Cope. Shanks, easily A1. He's going up here. We're going to do that. I think the only leader better than Shanks right now would be my ones that are in safe and Purple Luffy. I think these two are very close. Lim is Dog Water until at least 10, and she hasn't done the same thing that she did in those openings. She's Dog Water. Buggy, until he gets his promos in the West, he's obviously Dog Water. We're going to pretend he has promos. I'm going to put him in Cope. He can stay at the top of Cope for now, and we'll see what happens. I don't think this leader is going to be very relevant, though. PB Luffy. The Peanut Butter Jelly. PB and L. I think this is a very good leader. I think there's multiple ways you can run this deck. I think there's some people that run it and he is probably top 10 at best, and then there's others that run it, myself included. I have a deck list on him. I think with my deck list, he's probably closer to top 6. I'm going to put him at the top half of Beast for right now, and we'll see what happens. Nico Robin. I don't think she's Dog Water, because I think she can beat a lot of decks. She can even beat some of these decks at times. I'm going to put her at the top of Cope. We'll see what happens. It's just, she has really good plays she can make, but at the same time, kind of gets ran over a little bit. We're going to put her at the top of Cope and see. We'll see. I don't think I'm moving her, though. We got Teach. Teach is easily Like between Dofi and Teach, these two I'm not putting in any particular order. I think they're the two best decks in the format pretty easily. They're both super consistent. This is more consistent than Dofi, to be fair. Even more consistent. I don't think you can draw a bad hand with Teach, and then unless you're playing like a terrible deck. If you look at my deck list on it, you ain't drawing a bad hand with Teach. And then Dofi's very similar in that aspect. Very hard to draw a bad hand with. It does happen here and there, but other than that, you're relatively safe with either of these two picks. Sanji's kind of dog water, but I mean, him and Zoro are on the same boat. It's kind of like maybe like, hey, we get some good early matches. I think he's actually a little better than Zoro. We get some good early wins in the meta, but other than that, as soon as people figure out how they're running their decks, these kind of just get ran over, I think. RP Luffy he's pretty strong in 09. Pretty damn strong in 09. I'm going to send him over here for right this minute. He may be higher than this. I do think he's a top 10 deck, but maybe he's just on the outside of it. I'm not sure. He's very close. Like, these three are all very, well, even Reiju's pretty good, but yeah. BY Luffy, he does kind of fall off in 09 a little bit. Well, a lot in terms of where he was, because he was one of the top decks, maybe the best deck of 8.5. Him and Dofi definitely had a good run at that. I do think he's probably still an A1 deck. We'll probably still see a lot of him. He just has to be piloted better. You have to put in Kingdom Come. You just want to make sure you're piloting really well. You can't make mistakes. This is still a super hard deck to run, but at the same time, very, very, very rewarding if you run it well. So I do think it has a spot in A1 still. Black Luffy, like, where are all my Black Luffy players at? Like, I think you guys are probably cope at this point. You may be even dog water. Sorry, it's true. It's just a worse version of, I mean, like, Smoker and Lucci are just both better. We'll put you here. I don't think you're doing much at all. Pudding's dog water. Like, she just is. Maybe she's probably better than Perona still, but she's dog water. Calgara, dog water. Sabo's cope. There's people that run some of those fringe decks with Sabo, but it's, at the end of the day, dude, it's not going anywhere. It's a cope deck. Rebecca's going to get a lot better, but right now, I don't know that she's it. I have seen some matches. She does do pretty okay. It's just a long, drawn-on match that feels like inevitably you lose if you're Rebecca. Like, you get to draw it on forever, it seems like, but then you lose at the end. I'm going to put her in cope. I think she's probably on the bottom half of cope. She's not it yet. And then we can go and kind of reorder these to where I think they deserve to be. I do think Blackbeard is probably the best deck in format, but these two are so close. He's just the most consistent. So these two are so close, I'm going to keep it like this. Purple Luffy, I do think, could be arguably here. There's arguments to be made, but I don't think he's as consistent as these two, so I'm going to keep him here. Shanks could arguably be there too. Like, there is kind of a big four thing going on, but I think it's the big two and then the next two, and then we have these three. These ones I'm not going to put in any particular. Well, yeah, I will. I'll do it like this, and then do I want Nami here? Nami could arguably be down here now. But, like, because she's going to lose to Blackbeard. She's going to lose to Dofi. She's probably going to lose to Purple Luffy. Shanks, she has a good matchup into Shanks, I think. Unless you're running, like, a faster version of Shanks with, like, the 2K counter Sanji, etc. Like, I think so he can technically beat her as well. I, I think I'm gonna move her here. I cry about it, Nami. I don't care. She's down there. We're gonna say I'm putting PB there, and I'm putting Bonnie. I'm putting Bonnie there. If you my version of PB, I think is really good. I think he's probably right around there. And then Anel's still in it. RP Luffy's really strong. We'll go Bello, then Foxy, then Reiju, Kata. Kata will finish off Beast with, like, I do think he's probably the best version of like these, like, to where one of the best early versions of, hey, I can win right now, and then he's gonna fall off a mountain. So I think he's right here right now, but I think he falls off a mountain really soon. I think Bello's better at it because she's even more aggressive, so she could follow kind of that same pathing, where she may even be right here for right now because she's better than this. She may be right here right now, and then she's going to fall down to Beast. I think she's still really good. Nico is Cope at the end of the day. I think Vegapunk arguments could be made that he is either here or here. We're going to put him at Beast. We're going to put him at the end of Beast because like he did make some noise there at the end of 8.5, and I do think like he's solid. I think he's still solid. I think he'll still get some play, and he's still going to get some wins because like people just still don't know how to play against him half the time, and he makes some pretty good little moves. Smoker's gonna go at the top of Cope, and then Yamato is better than those. She'll still make some noise. Arguable between these two, I think, where they're at. I think Marco's probably he's ahead of Buggy. At least we're gonna assume this Buggy has promo, but I still think he's Cope. I think these two are fine. Yeah, I think this is decent for how it ends. And then these are just dog water. If I missed any other leaders that you think deserve to be on this list, make sure you let me know. I don't think I did, but hey, like, I know arguments are being made right now about like RP Kid is decent, and he may be even better than some of these dog water decks. So that's one I threw out there. If you have any others and any other deck you've been running that you're like, hey, dude, this is better than your Cope cards. This is better than your dog water cards. It's better than your Beast cards. And hey, it deserves to be an A1. I don't think there's any other card that deserves to be an A1. But hey, some people have their arguments. Make sure you hit like, hit subscribe, comment below, let me know, and see you next time. Peace.